Welcome. It's a weekly InSalt, episode 246. I'm CD, joined as usual by my boys Kurt and Wade. Let's go Kurt first. Kurt Sandage in here. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Wade.
Hi, man. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Your radio voice sounds really good today.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even do a sound check.
I know we didn't. I mean, it just sounds like your voice got deeper over Thanksgiving. I don't know how many turkey legs you've been deep throating.
No, it's not that. I've probably been smoking a little more weed than I normally do.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
So, it's the
Keep
holidays.
it up.
Yeah, you gotta, keep that appetite going. Got to try all the different dishes and shit.
I'm pretty sure I gained fucking 15 pounds this Thanksgiving. I'm feeling it, I feel like a fat ass.
I strangely lost weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But, I guess we're just teaming off of Thanksgiving weekend. We hope you all listeners had a happy holiday.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about what their favorite holidays were. And God, I used to love like Halloween and 4th of July was always a good one.
I still like 4th of July, man. Blowing shit up.
Yeah, what do you do though?
You can't light fireworks off where I live.
It seems like it's just such a
Go down to the bar.
Yeah, exactly. So it's.
The lady across the street, though, yells at us every time. The cops actually called the bar. But like, you guys lighting fireworks off? Yeah, knock it off.
But Thanksgiving is definitely one that's grown on me. It was always the most boring growing up because of family.
It was,
and
yeah.
You always ate early and went to bed early, and it got dark
your
early.
parents are just talking about shit as a kid that you don't fucking care about.
It's like, get to the fucking pies.
And now we're at the age where meeting up with friends or family, you have shit to talk about all day. It's like a great time.
I think that's a new word in the English dictionary, Friendsgiving. I don't ever remember hearing about that until...
Oh, we had a Friendsgiving when
when we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But that was, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
I feel like people have been doing Friendsgivings for a lot longer than that.
I think so, yeah.
Just never called it that.
Yeah, never called it that, but it is.
Yeah. Clever-ass millennials.
I think, that is a millennial. We'll give them credit.
Y'all were in California.
Yeah, it was fun. It was warmer than I thought. It's like mid-60s out there, which, with the weather how it's been here, is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I didn't bring a coat. I just wore a Dixon and it was fine.
Yeah, my girlfriend called me from Atlanta, Georgia, and it was 70 degrees and bluebird skies. I'm like, oh, cool. It's snowing here.
Yeah.
And it's going to snow tomorrow.
Yeah. Had to deal with that. The flight got delayed yesterday, but that's all right. We were at the Sky Lounge anyway, right?
Yeah.
Dude, if you guys haven't been to Delta Sky Lounge, I feel sorry for you.
I went one time last year, 2 years ago for Thanksgiving.
Sky Lounge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wasn't impressed.
Why?
All the liquor that I wanted was cost money.
No. You did it wrong, man. They got complimentary liquor.
I know, but not the liquor that I want to buy.
Sure,
not the liquor that I want.
Shelf liquor.
Yeah,
but,
you have to get Barton vodka if you want, a cocktail.
Okay, complaining it's free.
Well, maybe I feel like Tito's.
Got to pay $40 to get in there, but
yeah, so it's free. Costs $40, and then I have to pay for my cocktails or
dude, come on, man, quit being a bougie fuck.
Complimentary alcohol, and it's free Bud Light. Fuck that, $40 for free Bud Light.
They actually have a micro local brew from every place, like every airport in San Francisco. They have their own local brew that was complimentary.
Well, maybe I was ordering the wrong things.
You got to go with seasoned veterans like me and Kurt.
I was traveling with an ex, and she's a little bougie. She wants fancy cocktails or wine. I don't know.
We make her pay for it.
But then we also went in the morning time, and I said, well, shit, I don't care what time in the morning it's at. I still want to drink. I'm in an airport, that's like,
yeah, you have to.
That's
just
like
to chill.
Traveling rule number 1.
Yeah,
you gotta drink in an airport.
We had a hilarious fucking because we flew, and we usually always fly Comfort Plus just because you get the little extra leg room and drinks are free. Like alcoholic drinks are free in Comfort Plus,
which is basically one drink.
Well, here's the secret that nobody does, and everybody's too afraid to do it. Is we were in a row of 3, right? So there's 3 seats. Kurt was in the middle, I was in the window, random guy in the aisle. And the lady comes up, and I'm first because I'm by the window. So she's like, what would you like to drink? I'm like, a double Jack and Coke. So now I'm getting 2 drinks, price of 1. Because I know she's not coming back.
Yeah.
And then Kurt's like, I'll have the same thing. And the guy at the aisle's like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'll do that too. It's like, I think everybody's embarrassed and I think I heard somebody, you were sleeping on the way back, but I heard somebody behind me go, yeah, I'll do a triple. And the lady's like, okay. You know, like, as long as you don't drink your own mini bottles, you just drink theirs, I guess.
As long as you're not an idiot on the plane, too.
Yeah, there was this clown next to us that was being an idiot. He was hitting the flight attendant call button all the fucking time.
What, really?
Yeah, he wanted like an extra napkin. Then he wanted more ice. And like,
I heard it go off a few times.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck is pushing the button?
I normally always spring for the Comfort Plus as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if it costs differently depending on how far you're going, but I'm going to Vegas here in a couple weeks. And
did you do Comfort Plus?
No, I didn't. But against advice from my girlfriend, I booked it through Expedia, like a travel website.
Okay, yeah.
And she insisted that I do it through Delta directly.
Yeah.
But she's like, it's way cheaper. It wasn't.
Yeah,
Definitely
you have
wasn't.
to keep an eye on the Delta website if you really want to get the deals. But by the time I decide I'm going to make a trip, I just have realized that I'll probably just pay for it later. Just put it on my credit card because I get miles anyway, and then pay it off.
Yeah, I'll see. I don't know if you can upgrade.
You have to have discipline to do that. I don't recommend it.
Can you upgrade the day of, or can you I feel like doing Comfort if only if there's availability? Or
I think if you log into the Delta website, you put in your flight number, they usually have like an ad that pops up. For me, since we already Comfort Plus, I don't know if it happened for you, Kurt. But they always pop up this ads like upgrade to first class, you know. And I think they reserve a few seats, but not the day of. You'd have to be on like this upgrade list. Which
are the airlines going to finally get rid of the rule of giving alcohol to all the regular people? You know
what?
What?
Yeah, that sounded almost like you're trying not to be racist, but it came off as racist.
Well, the last time I flew to California, you could only get alcohol if you had Comfort Plus.
No, yeah, that's all back to normal now.
No, you can.
So now you just have to pay for the
have
drink.
to pay,
You
yeah.
buy it, yeah.
And you can't pay with cash.
No.
Yeah,
I've made
you
that
have to use
mistake
card.
going to Vegas too. Just traveling with a big old fat wad of like 4 G's in my pocket.
You can't pay cash, sir.
And I was like, well, shit, you can't drink on the airplane. Look over, my friend is like, will you buy me a drink?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, traveling this time of year is making me a little nervous, man, because I'm getting a little closer traveling around Christmas time. I don't want to get stuck in the fucking airport like Macaulay Culkin.
Nah, you won't. I think
we flew out the day before Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was a shit show, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Vegas is a pretty easy flight too. And where you guys, what airport did you fly into?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's what,
we
hour and
flew
a
out.
half?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah, you basically hit altitude going to Vegas, and then you're just on your descent.
Yeah.
The flight attendants have to run down the fucking aisle to get you your drinks and your.
You fly into Vegas. You're flying to Vegas. Yeah, that's right. So you're gonna get up to altitude and start your descent. They may not even get through the drink service.
Yeah,
so you better be at the front of the plane.
It usually does.
It does. I think they do a pretty good
People
job.
always say, "Why do you drive to Vegas?" I'm like, because flying is 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I've even had friends be like, "Yeah, you
agree
can
with
ride
that.
with us." I'm like, "You disagree with that?"
I 100% agree with that. I would much rather deal with the airport and be up in the air for 45 minutes than sit in the car for like 6 hours.
Yeah, and you have to wait around, but sure, you get there a little early at the airport. Just go sit in the lounge and fucking have a cocktail.
Hell yeah. That's the other reason why I think the Sky Lounge is worth it, because it's $40 to get in, and I think you have to have an Amex card, at least a platinum level card. Yeah. But if you do have one, you can bring in 2 guests. We found out.
So wait, you guys have a platinum card and you had to pay to get in?
Yes, you have to still pay.
Oh, so there's no free admission. And
if I upgrade my card to the next level, then I can get in for free.
What's the next level above platinum? Diamond,
like
Sapphire, I think.
Sapphire.
Yeah, but it also comes with a $500 annual
$500 a year. Yeah.
Oh shit!
So that's the shitty thing about credit cards is that they're credit cards, but then they also come with like fucking crazy perks like that. If you're like a business owner doing hundreds of $1,000s worth of revenue a year, you probably just fly for fucking free, right? You get in the fucking Sky Lounge, you bring all your homies with you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But for us,
we're just a bunch of regular old schmucks over here at the Weekly InSalt.
The one thing I do like also about the Sky Lounge is there are no kids, and if there are, they're usually tucked back in the corner somewhere.
I did travel when I went there. There was a child with us. I mean, no, he was 18. But,
yeah, okay, yeah, that's not. He's an adult,
but not old enough to drink.
Yeah.
But the other thing about the Sky Lounge too, the Delta Sky Lounge, was we went there, in the morning, and they have food and all this stuff. No, they had shit, dude. It was like going to the fucking Holiday Inn
they have
continental breakfast.
Sandwiches and
it's like a croissant and some fruit.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
$40 better get me a fucking omelet at least. Give me some fucking bacon.
So since it was Thanksgiving, they were doing all Thanksgiving shit, which is fine. So you could go get like your turkey sandwich. And then now that everybody's fucking weird, they had vegan options and shit like that. But it was pretty good. We got chicken noodle soup on the way back. That was mediocre, but our bartender, this sweet little lady, she was awesome. Kurt completely demoralized her, but we made up for it in the end.
I just think she made that drink wrong.
She probably did. You just called her out.
I did. She did. She fucked that up.
It's a good thing we didn't leave the weekly insult card on the bar because she might have listened.
Sometimes you need to be picky about shit, Sometimes you need to be a little, not going to say it, but, a little picky.
Yeah.
Well, when I order a nice cocktail,
you did order something that you paid for,
yeah,
and
I
you
paid
got
$12
it,
for
this
an
isn't that
old-fashioned.
great.
Oh, yeah.
And she, how an old fashioned is made.
Sure.
Take the orange rind and grind it up with some other stuff.
Express the oils. Yeah.
No, she just cut off an orange slice and threw it in there.
Well, I don't think she cut it. I think they just had prepped orange slices.
Yeah, it was a slice of orange.
Yeah.
Come on, she didn't even twist it up or do anything.
She didn't even cut it. She just grabbed it out of a tray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
You heard it here first, folks. Kurt fucking hating on oranges.
I think
you're right.
It's
I
not
think
that I'm hating on oranges. It was made wrong.
Minimum
Call
effort.
It was bottom shelf old fashioned.
Yeah.
I think that 95% of the bars that you go to here in Salt Lake won't make a proper old fashioned.
You're correct.
And there's another large percent that probably don't even know how to make them. Even though they're very simple ingredients, right? It's just
simple syrup,
whiskey,
orange peel,
bourbon,
yeah.
And then the orange peel.
Orange peel, yeah.
And I've seen maybe a little
Some
cherry in there.
bitters. There's some bitters in there.
Bitters,
yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't
think I got any of that.
Maybe just I didn't taste any.
Got a weird cherry. An orange slice.
Weird cherry, like a
syrup
mandarin cherry,
and some nice whiskey, and I paid $12 for it.
It was Woodford Reserve, so
you're basically paying for the whiskey.
Yeah.
But
So me being
had better.
Yeah.
Being the way that I am, I have to ask questions. So the lady's being friendly, and I was like, "What's the most I'm sure that people come into the Sky Lounge and they're hoity-toity and they're like, I need this cocktail. I'm like, what is that usually? And she's like, people come in and they ask us to make an old-fashioned using egg whites.
Yeah.
Which is a super traditional old-fashioned.
Or
but you think
whiskey
that
sour.
the fucking Sky Lounge is just going to have egg whites on hand?
They should if people are paying $40 to get in there.
$40 ain't shit. You can't even walk into a restaurant in the airport without spending $40.
Dude, you're paying $40 and then you're paying for the cocktail.
No, I get complimentary shit, bro.
Not an egg white old fashioned.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pay $16 for that.
No, I can just use 600 miles.
And plus,
that doesn't count as
how hard
money.
is it to keep some egg whites? Just go to the kitchen. They've got the.
I also think it's like a health thing, which is another thing that I was leading into. I found out through this lady, and by the way, this is all opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, even though it's probably
Is
true.
it a grain of salt
or salt of grain,
or a grain of salt?
Take it with I don't know.
I'll just take it with a grain of salt.
Grain of salt.
Grain of salt.
Grain of salt.
Oh.
I don't.
A grain of weekly and salt.
Nice. That's good branding. The lady, I asked her, I was like, what's a misconception or something? It somehow came up that she was like, well, everybody comes in and I'm the bartender at the Sky Lounge, so they asked me where I've traveled and everything. She's like, I don't travel anywhere. I don't work for Delta.
I traveled out here to the airport because it's a fucking ride out there.
I was like, you don't work for Delta? And she's like, no, the only people that work for Delta at the Sky Lounge are the people that are at the desks, like the people that provide information and track the flights and shit. Mm-hmm. All of the other workers are just part of the union from hotel and restaurant industry.
When I went in
Delta, they don't get any benefits of working for Delta, and they're in the fucking Sky Club. That's crazy.
Yeah, when I went in 2 years ago, the Salt Lake Sky Club, maybe his name starts with a T, so let's say T.
Okay.
He was working at the bar.
Not the T that we had on the show.
No,
different
just
T.
first letter T, and he's like, hey, CD. I'm like, holy shit, is that T? And he's so just knowing who the bartender was, I'm like, yeah, I know.
You know he ain't working for Delta.
Yeah, he's some snowboarder, fucking hippie ass. He cleans up nice, but.
And I think they do have pretty strict rules there too, as far as what their employees should and shouldn't do and things like that.
Well, you have to go through security check just to work at the airport.
Yeah.
You can't be some normal old schmuck.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving though, man? You didn't fly anywhere. You had pretty.
Yeah. I honestly thought about it, but it's things are a little tight this year.
Yeah.
And so,
but you're probably not the only one going through that, Like, I think things get tight for everybody this time of year because now that not only are you spending money to make a good Thanksgiving dinner, now you got to fucking think about Christmas presents, you know?
Yeah, that, and also I have a trip planned right before Christmas to Vegas, you know, so I'm just like, man, I got to pick and choose my battles. But it was good, man. I went to a couple different Friendsgivings. And then when my girl got back into town, just spent the whole last 4 days with her. It was
Cool.
my sister Maddie's birthday. She's been on the podcast.
Happy birthday.
Went and
Maddie.
partied with her for her birthday and all of her friends. It was
Hell yeah.
a little wild. Brunched with a couple old friends from high school. We went to
that's
that I don't know if you guys have heard of that Sunday's Best.
I've heard of it. I've never been there.
It's a brunch place out in Sandy, and it's supposed to be, you know, like the real kind of cool hip spot. It took us, I think I made the reservations like 3 or 4 weeks in advance just to get in, at least a party our
Holy
size.
shit.
And unless you want to just sit there and wait for an hour and hope that someone doesn't show up on their reservation.
Right.
But it was that place was fucking dope, man. They've got some really good
What was the
cocktails.
name of the place?
Sunday's Best.
I'm going to pull up.
They got a really good menu. I liked it because I'm not a big breakfast person, so I could order ham fried rice, or I could order. I ended up ordering pasta carbonara for brunch. It was great.
Yeah, now that we've got this fancy.
But they've got
solid state
martinis. They've got a mimosa experience where they bring out a bottle of champagne. They've got 3 different kinds of juices, and then they give you a topper to put, like a vodka topper or a whiskey topper to put on your. I don't know why someone would put whiskey in a mimosa, but. Anyway, different kinds of toppers you could put on. We didn't we ended up not going with that, but it was really cool. They have a DJ in there. They have a fucking DJ.
Why would you have a fucking DJ in there?
Because it's super bougie and it's super, you know.
Okay, was he DJing like chill music, or was it like?
No, it was bumping.
Okay, so it was like.
At times it was hard. It was 10 of us from high school, and at times it was hard to
hear each other,
communicate with someone at the other end of the table, but. It was fun. You know, I could have gone without the DJ. I was pretty indifferent about it, but it made it fun.
Oh, this is just the drink menu. What's
yeah,
the
they have.
menu,
I think they have 1 food menu and 3 drink menus. So it's definitely a place
here we go.
They definitely appeal to the. You know, you're not going in there to have breakfast with your kids. Basically, you're going in there to party with your friends.
Okay, that makes sense. One thing that we've talked about on the show before is a restaurant we all want to go to, Table X. We haven't been there yet, but their avocado toast has Table X bread.
Oh,
so they must be doing a collab.
They get their bread from Table X.
Yeah,
interesting. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, but I mean, the prices are what I would expect from a place like that. I'm glad to be back in Salt Lake City and not paying San Francisco prices. That's for sure.
They've got one of those like big neon signs that everyone's got to take a picture in front of. You know, it's kind of a hip spot.
Hell yeah,
I don't think
good.
I would go there regularly, but you know, on a fun, you know, special occasion, I'd go, and definitely in a smaller group. Sure.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier to get in.
But I think we're gonna try to do those more often, get big groups, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Sunday's Best, but it'd be nice to get, you know, a big group of friends together and. You know, shoot the shit and catch up, and also it's really great for networking too. I don't want to like give away too much information, but some of the people that were at the breakfast, you know, it was good catching up and seeing what they're doing. There was dancers.
So just getting together with people is good networking, not the restaurant.
Well, no, I mean,
right? Is that what you got out of it?
Yeah.
Well, the restaurant was good, and it's good for it's good to get these big groups together to kind of see what everyone's up to.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It's just shit we got to do, you know. Yeah. Especially being in podcasts, we always have to do that.
Yeah. So
I think the only thing, I think I got 2 Fireballs and 2 Bud Lights. We were in San Francisco, and it was $51.
Jesus Christ!
And the only reason that we were in this bar to begin with is because we all had to piss, and you couldn't use the bathroom unless you bought something. So I'm like, well, I might as well get a Fireball and a beer. I got a Bud Light and a Fireball. And you got a Bud Light and a Fireball. It was $41. I left a $10 tip because the guy seemed annoyed.
Why?
I don't know. I think he just knew we were coming in for the bathroom, so I almost like wonder if he upcharged me. But at that point, I'm trying to take a piss. Fuck you. I'll just give you your fucking money. And then after I tipped him, he's like, "Hey man, You know, it's funny when they're like annoyed, but then you tip well, and then they change their sentiment towards you. It's like, I fucking pegged you.
That's the life of the airport bartender, man. I swear to God, you gotta
sweeten them up.
There must be something with people that are traveling where they don't tip in airports or are very stingy.
It's probably because they think you're like, well, I'll never see this person again.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or they're already spending so much money on their travels.
That could be it too. Fuck. Yeah. Or they're from Europe and they're just a bunch of European pricks.
True. Yeah. The Salt Lake City Airport. We can address that unless you've got something else you want to segue to.
No, I mean, I just been kind of thinking about traveling and how things are different. I was asked recently, like, what did you do during the pandemic? And I said, well, I traveled. I mean, we went camping. I flew a bunch. I tried to get out as much as possible because I understand.
Because whenever you tell CD to do something or not do something, he does the opposite.
Well, yeah, not that. It's just during the pandemic, man. Like, people got so fucking uptight and quarantine shit and all this wearing masks and everything. And yeah, I'll wear a mask. And here I am. I found an old video that came me going through the Salt Lake City airport. And I'm riding up an escalator, and we're all jam packed together. But we still have to wear a mask. Like, what's the fucking point, you know?
When I walked through the security checkpoint in San Francisco, I looked down at the perfect timing because I saw a mask that was just trampled, you know, like completely ultra flat, just black because so many people had walked over it. And I was like, oh, I guess that's where we are with the pandemic. It was like, I don't know, I should have taken a picture of it because it was like kind of weirdly resonated with me.
It feels like
there's still a lot of people in San Francisco with masks, by the way, and some stores still required masks.
Yeah, and I'm sure you see that a lot more in like New York and California. But I feel like around for me, you know, I've always been careful with germs my whole life.
I always wash my hands before I eat. Wash my hands before I prepare food.
Every day is a possible COVID exposure day, or a flu exposure, or a sneeze. You know, but I think a lot of people have kind of relaxed and they feel like the pandemic is over. But I was reading this article, or I saw a video or something, and I said, I got to fact check this. But China is going fucking crazy right now still with the pandemic. Yeah, they are. And COVID. And they're laying it in thick, where there's full on.
The Apple factory shut down because there's like huge protests right now.
They all walked out of the factory.
And now they're fighting security. And like literally fighting them.
And they're doing all these quarantine mandates and all this stuff. And so this article popped up, and it's this girl, her name's Chrissy Clark. Her segment is called The 5 Underreported Stories. And it's, you know, people pay so much attention to Fox or CNN or MSNBC and all these, you know, mainstream, but all these smaller like news outlets are reporting about stuff that the big news outlets are trying to kind of sweep under the rug, and one of them is China. I saw and this is, you can pull it up. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not anything. I encourage you as the listener to as well.
I just want to throw this in real quick. For the United States right now, the average 7-day COVID case is 39,000 in all of the United States.
Yeah.
Definitely did spike in January of last year, or this year, January.
China right now, they are building a giant, like a city of quarantine pods. There's 90,000 quarantine pods in this city, and they're putting people in these pods, or putting like groups of people in these pods. These pods, I'm sure, man, they hold more than one person.
Let's see.
You just Google China quarantine pods, and then pull up an image of it, and it's like, it looks like a shipping yard with crates.
China has built a massive COVID-19 isolation center made up of row upon row of temporary buildings over a vast expanse in the country's south, as officials continue to treat the virus as a threat that needs to be stamped out. It says, we're on a fucking paywall website, so never mind, let me go back.
It looks like a concentration camp.
14,000 beds.
Yeah. The report that I got was they had 90,000.
Oh, well, this is just maybe one complex.
Oh, yeah. Chinese quarantine, 90,000. I mean, this is crazy. You know what they're also doing right now? It's kind of crazy. The World Cup is probably the second biggest international sporting event of the year or whatever. Happens every 4 years, just like the Olympics.
We do a whole fucking show on just that.
Olympics is number one, but the World Cup is going on right now. USA just beat Iran 1-0. Whoop whoop, going on to the next round. But China, when they have a televised game, they're censoring all the people in the stadium that are not wearing masks.
Oh, really?
And if they get to a point of the game where they're, there's no gameplay or whatever, then they'll just go to the coaches.
Oh, really?
Apparently coaching staffs wherever, at least in China, have to wear masks. But in the entire fucking stadium, which is holding tens of thousands of people, they are literally blurring people out because they're not wearing masks.
Yeah. Huh.
And that's another one of those Chrissy Clark unreported stories.
Yeah.
500
unreported
stories.
I guess you could see that when you're thinking of an entire... Because China's very densely populated. So I'd imagine that plays a role in it being a little more aggressive.
Parts of China are
parts of China, which... I mean, parts of the United States are as well, which like a place like New York or San Francisco, I get that people are still going to be wearing a mask, or maybe you're an older person, you're just taking your own safety into your own hands, which is totally fine. Sounds like China, on the other hand, is like, nah, you guys are going to do what we want or you're fucked, which in this case means that they have super aggressive social distancing things. So all over the entire country, there's been cancellation of like these events that happen every year and like banning of people like congregating in public places. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's part of living in that type of
China is
political environment.
They're trying to go for a zero COVID policy. They're trying to go for 0 cases.
Yeah.
Which is never going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, China. You got some smart fucking people over there. Don't
get me wrong, I would love for nobody to die on our freeways, but the fact that we always see those signs that's like 0 fatalities this year, it's like there's always going to be a dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
Not saying that if like there's always accidents, right? But there's always going to be accidents.
Imagine
it just sucks when people die.
The amount of worldwide isolation you'd have to do to completely wipe out COVID or any kind of communicable disease or bacteria. I mean, it's not ever going away. It's just not.
Wouldn't that be
crazy how people get sick these days and their automatic go-to
COVID
is get a COVID test. Or for the last 40 years of my life, we just stayed at home, drank a thing of emergency, got lots of rest,
That's basically what I did when I had COVID.
It just pisses me off that people have to automatically go to that. If you're sick, you automatically think it's COVID.
It's just been like over the past couple of years, so much of our life that I think people, it's like you remember that and it's hard to let it go. It's hard to believe that anything's getting better. You know what I mean?
Anthony Fauci had his final news conference recently.
Yeah.
Like, I think just maybe today or yesterday. And there was a reporter that asked him a very hard question that has a very hard answer.
Yeah.
And it was something along the lines of, why are you still pushing masks and vaccinations and boosters when people are getting sick still? And now they're saying, well, if you get your boosters and your vaccinations, you might not die. Well, you might not die if you get it either. It's just
you also might die if you cross the street.
The wool. It's just I'm not against people getting vaccinations. I'm not against people getting boosters, but the amount of deaths now, officially as of today, the amount of deaths of COVID in America, COVID deaths
total since it's started?
Total deaths are people that are vaccinated or boosted or have had some sort of form of boosting than people that are not vaccinated. It's officially that number has surpassed today.
Okay. I mean, I don't have the data to back that up, but go for it, bud. Hit him with some truth, Kurt. Or hit him with some InfoWars. Let me tell you something, brother.
I'm gonna need some more evidence.
Let me see if I can.
You
Google
guys both have fucking laptops.
Let me see if I can Google.
I don't know if I can trust the internet on that. I'm gonna have to consult some actual scientists.
Some real government website that could or could not be true, I guess.
Let's see here. Where did I pull this from?
And that's going to be the big thing, right? Vaccinated versus unvaccinated deaths.
Vaccinated people now make majority of COVID deaths in U.S. report. All I have is the picture of the. Follow us on Google News, so it's obviously available on Google.
Yeah, go.
Okay, I
for
got
the first time since
The
the
fact
beginning.
that you're reading it off of the internet is a red
Where
flag.
else would I get it? If I go to the CDC website,
This
that's
is all
the
50
internet.
plus, the data that I'm looking at. And
I mean, do I need to go to the library and get a scientific journal?
so,
where do you
okay,
where
here
else
you
do
go.
get your
This is it
information
right.
from?
ourworldindata.org. So if .org makes you feel better about the source, then there you go. Right in July, like July 20th, 29th-ish, unvaccinated, there was like on average 10 deaths. Primary vaccination with one booster, there was 2. Primary vaccination only, 1.9. Primary vaccination plus 2 boosters, 0.9.
I should maybe do a little more research on that because I am reading this headline, but as you guys know, it always pisses
Fucking
me off.
stevesnews.com got him
No,
again.
it's not stevesnews.com, but it's but it pisses me off when people just read headlines and not the actual article.
Oh, and this website, by the way,
I have
so
not read.
ourworldindata.org, this also does list the sources that they got that information from. So if you're one of those people that's like, I really want to know if that data's true, you can see the sources and where they got it from at what time. There you go. Learning it here. But I mean, you never know, right? Data can be manipulated in any way, and it can also be falsely reported. I mean, we see that shit going on with Russia-Ukraine shit all the time in the news, and how many people have died, and what side they're on, and all that good stuff.
Real quick word from our sponsor. Yeah, what's up? We're getting our swerve on. And we're having a little help.
Just come back the weirdest way.
Well, so I'm trying to stall because I'm pulling up Salt Flats. I'm pulling up their Instagram page.
I need a beer, by the way. Will you grab me one out there?
Yeah, sure. What do you like?
Well, I know what you guys always drink, so give me a Deuce Coupe.
Deuce Coupe's one of their award-winning lagers from the Colorado Beer Festival, I believe. Anyway,
do you want a beer?
No.
Why?
It's a school night.
Jesus Christ.
I'm surprised
It's
you're
not that.
drinking.
I've had enough beer the last 6 days.
Yeah, what, you had like 2?
No.
Cheers to the first snow of the season. Time to bust out some of those darker beers. Find the Kilted Harley and the barrel-aged Kilted Harley.
Do you know what I like?
What?
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
I just wanted to say on the side of this can, it says no celebrity ads needed, just award-winning taste.
Yeah. Salt Flats, they're growing and growing thanks to people like you. You can find them in your favorite restaurants, your favorite bars, but of course, you can always find them at the brewery at 2020 West Industrial Circle. Even I've seen them in basically all major grocery stores. I'm gonna hit up Whole Foods on the way home and pick me up a little sixer. But,
Sixer?
Yeah, they sell them in sixers.
The inflection was weird, but I was just like hype manning you.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Yeah, sorry. The inflection sounded like I was questioning it, but I didn't.
Like
mean
it was just like Snoop Dogg was reading this ad. The great thing about Salt Flats, though, is they have something for everybody. You can go follow their Instagram. It's pretty easy. Salt Flats Brewing or Salt Flats Spirits. They make spirits, liquor, craft cocktails, and of course beer. There's a beer for everybody. I
just had the gin spritz before the show, man, and it was good.
Yeah, I like that one.
It was good.
Yeah,
refreshing, even though it's getting cold outside.
Well, sometimes that's what you need, man.
Sometimes gin will warm you up.
When you're thirsty, you're thirsty. You know, a Kilted Harley isn't necessarily going to quench your thirst, but it's going to
make you feel warm inside.
Yes, it is.
You're going to feel good after that.
Keep an eye out for some more seasonal flavors to be released here soon. You can hear about those here on the podcast or follow them at Salt Flats Spirits and Salt Flats Brewery on Instagram or basically all social media. But we just hope you support them. They've been supporting this podcast for a very long time, and they're keeping us afloat with drunkenness, I guess. Floating
just
through
delicious,
clouds.
tasty beverages, and
yeah,
they support us.
It always makes me happy to walk into a new restaurant and see that they're serving Salt Flats.
I know. I actually saw some in San Francisco, which was really surprising to me.
No, you didn't. Are you serious?
Yeah, you're right. I'm totally made
Yeah,
that.
I don't think. Yeah. I think they've made it out to Idaho and Nevada. But anyway, hope you guys check them out. And their Tuesday Firkin at the brewery is also a lot of fun to go to. So Or
Freaking Tuesday now.
Tuesday. That's
Yeah.
right. So anyway, thank you
You know
guys.
what? I need to bring something up that I'm like really confused about, or maybe I'm not confused about it. Maybe I
You're
just
always confused.
don't know. Well, yeah, not as far as my gender goes, but yes, mostly I'm confused about everything. Call me they. Elon Musk and the fucking Twitter takeover. Like, what is this? Turning into a dumpster fire?
So I'm glad you brought that up. There's a lot of, especially, I'm not trying to like go on left or right. I'm usually
Some people are saying he's letting all the crazies back on Twitter, and that like Apple's gonna fucking pull the app now, and then Elon's like, I'll just make my own fucking phone.
Yeah, Apple. They said Apple might not. I'm like, that's so weird. And I heard a celebrity who I've had the biggest crush on my whole life, Alyssa Milano, and she was talking about. She went on The View recently and said that well, Elon Musk is just, if he's just going to go on Twitter and just burn it all down, he could have used that $40 million. It's $44 billion, by the way, Alyssa Milano. He could have used that $40 billion to donate to UNICEF, to the hungry children around the world, and solved the world's hunger problems. I'm like, bitch.
Do you think donating $40 billion to UNICEF is going to solve the world's hunger problems?
For one thing,
No
UNICEF is a corporation. It's not a charity. It's a corporation. They're paying executives at that place six-figure salaries or more.
So let's just be fair. Like, even a charity, obviously the CEOs and stuff still get paid.
Yeah, but so here's the funny thing about Alyssa Milano, though. She went on The View and her Twitter and said that she wasn't going to support Elon Musk, and she's turned in her Tesla,
For the newer Tesla,
which is is supposed to give out clean energy and all this great. It's like, fuck the environment. Now that we have Elon Musk bought Twitter, fuck the environment. And she said that she's going to her new Volkswagen because she doesn't want to support a white supremacist.
Wait a second. Wait, let me interrupt. Because can I interrupt one thing about Volkswagen? Did we all fucking forget that they literally scammed the fucking EPA for years because their fucking exhaust was not meeting standards?
Wow, I totally forgot about that, but you're correct.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny, and the entire universe thought it was funny too, that Alyssa Milano is going on The View, which, again, not to even get into their politics, I think they're probably some of the most stupid human beings in the world that are on that TV show.
On The View?
Has nothing to do with their gender.
I've not
has
been a
nothing
fan
to do
of
with
The
their
View
politics.
ever.
These ladies are so stupid, and they fight with each other too. Joy Behar is such a weird lady. But anyway,
the
funniest
you
part,
say it has nothing to do with like their gender or anything like that, but then you make that joke.
dude, if it was a bunch of dudes saying stupid shit, I'd be making fun of them too. But
You probably would have said a bunch of guys go.
well, that's just a Joy Behar.
Okay.
That's a
That's
Joy
just
Behar
specific.
fucking impression. No, the thing that's super rich about this is she says she's turning in her Tesla because she doesn't want to support a white supremacist, talking about Elon Musk, and then goes and buys a Volkswagen, which was started and has ties to the inception of Volkswagen was with the Nazi Party. Mm-hmm. It's literally a company that was started by the Nazis.
But nobody talks about
and
that.
Hitler. And great. If you have a Volkswagen, great. I think they're wonderful cars. I just think it's so funny that
I actually think Volkswagens are pretty shitty cars, but I don't know. I'm not a Volkswagen guy.
They're expensive to maintain or whatever, but there's some cool Volkswagens.
Well, they make
Porsche.
The Volkswagen van, iconic.
My like ideal like dream car that's not a fucking spaceship.
Yeah, okay.
Would be the Porsche Panamera. I love the 4-door Porsche. Love it. And it's made by Volkswagen. Great. But the fact that she's using white supremacy and calling Elon Musk, for one thing,
do you think it's a publicity
Elon's
move?
white, by the way, but people shit on him so bad about this and that. He's an immigrant. He's one of the people that crossed the border.
Do you think it's just a publicity stunt at that level, though? Like, she's just...
For Alyssa Milano?
Yeah, she's just
everything is a publicity stunt.
Okay, yeah, that's...
Dude, during all the fucking Supreme Court hearings, when they were, whatever that's called when you do bring in a new Supreme Court judge, Brett Kavanaugh.
Sure. I don't know the name off the top of my head.
It's called I can't remember.
Like if you declare mistrial?
No, when you're bringing in a new Supreme Court justice,
I don't know.
they have to be interviewed by the Senate to make sure that they're competent, and because
We'll just call it an indoctrination.
No, it's not an indoctrination. But anyway, she went to the hearings and made sure that she sat right behind where the cameras were, so you could see her face the whole time.
Yeah.
Everything is a publicity stunt for her.
Yeah.
Dude, the last thing she did was Charmed.
So does that make
when
you...
she was fucking probably giving Harvey Weinstein fucking pimply blowjobs.
So are you more frustrated at the fact that, like, it's a publicity stunt, but then people still agree? They're like, yeah, she's totally right. Do you think those people are blind to the fact that she's
that are
just
so far to the right and so far to the left, and then there's people like us, or at least me, that are right in the middle. I'm looking at both of y'all motherfuckers like you're all crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you think that you're turning in your Tesla to be against white supremacy,
Yeah.
but then you're buying a car that was started by Nazis.
She probably bought a white Volkswagen too.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Yeah, this is a white Jetta with a "Who's the Boss" logo on the side.
Did you just put truck nuts on the back of it just for fun?
Fuck. And I hate to get all opinionated about this stuff. Actually, I do.
But what's happening with the whole Twitter thing?
Twitter. So from what I understand, you can do the $8 verification check mark.
Should we do that?
Yeah,
I mean, we
haven't done shit with our Twitter forever. So
you know what we should do?
Check mark?
We should pay $8.
We have one follower.
No, we should pay $8 to get our Twitter account verified and then never post anything.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
That's a big dick move right there.
That is, yeah.
Why?
Just so that
it's $8.
Just because we have a check mark and there's nothing. Why do we need to be verified in the first place?
Here's the thing that people are overreacting about.
It's just funny because, like, why would you pay $8 to verify nothing?
Here's the thing that people are freaking out about.
Pointing out a flaw in the system.
You can go onto Twitter and get a verified account, and I'm saying that I'm Pepsi, and then I'm going to say, hey, drink this Pepsi and it'll keep you from being an idiot, or
drink this Pepsi. You're all idiots.
Yeah, it'll make you 40% smarter, whatever.
Yeah, snake oil shit.
Or I could say that Pepsi is for Volkswagen driving white supremacists, whatever. People are doing that, trolling Twitter.
Yeah,
but it's the people that are complaining about it that are doing it.
Yeah.
And here's what happens: if they find out that you're a fake account, guess what?
Ban you.
You're banned.
Yeah.
You're fucking banned.
You know what's sweet though?
What's the big fucking deal?
It's the Mayweather effect, dude.
And why the fuck are you on Twitter in the first place? Twitter, even Alyssa Milan and all the women on The View, when they were talking about this whole Twitter thing, like, fuck Twitter, he's burning it to the ground, nah, 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 nah. Guess what? Twitter was already a dumpster fire. It's been a dumpster fire for fucking years. Fucking years.
I think one of my favorite tweets that I've seen about the whole thing is, and you'll appreciate this, Kurt, as a network engineer, somebody was like, Elon Musk bought Twitter and laid off 75% of the workforce, and Twitter's still up. So what were they doing? I was like, oh my God, you wait till that motherfucker goes down.
Yeah.
Then you'll know what they're doing. But like they're making a joke about how we can lay off that many people and Twitter just still works, so you don't need them anyway.
Well, wasn't there something that they were spending like $1.6 million a month on, or a year or whatever, on employee lunches in the cafeteria?
Oh, I'm sure.
That no one was eating?
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, oh yeah, you want to talk about
better food?
Hey, Alyssa Milano, you stupid.
Thank you.
You want to talk about children hunger? And all this time, Twitter's just been spending all this money wasting food that no one eats.
True.
Let's talk about world hunger now, Alyssa Milano.
Maybe. I just think it's interesting that it's like became a power move for him, like something to prove. So he did it. He was threatening, I'm just going to buy it and take it over. You'll all be gone anyway. And they're like, whatever. And then he did it. And he did that.
Whatever happens to it, happens to it. But he's not buying it to burn it down.
No.
It's an investment. He wants to make money on it.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is a smart person. There's a reason why he's the richest man in the world. He's never he's not someone that's just going to throw away money. He will throw away money to try to make money.
That's obviously SpaceX's business
exactly.
model, right?
That's how we made SpaceX. Mm-hmm. And now it's, we're flying rockets to Mars and the moon.
Yeah.
And putting up satellite free internet for the whole world.
When I was in California, somebody has Starlink, and the first question that came up was, "Well, does it actually work good?" They're like, "Yeah, it works really good." So, I mean, he I think that the famous story where he was like, yeah, we did our last test and I was out of money. I was going to file for bankruptcy if this didn't work, and we landed that fucking booster.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And his cars, dude, you'll hear people complain about it.
Oh, sure.
His cars, they do a great job. They're keeping the environment healthy and safe. His rockets are doing. He made PayPal. That's making, PayPal's turned into Venmo and all this.
Sure.
Created fighting against the mainstream banking system. He's doing stuff. Solar panels, Solar City. Is that what it's called? Solar City, his solar panel business.
Never heard of it.
I think it's called Solar City or Solar. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. Yeah.
He makes solar panels. Like, how can you tell me that this guy's a evil, genius when he's helping out the world? Now, is he kind of divisive? Well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They just at the Tesla plant today, they just had a big statue of Elon's head on top of a goat.
So, yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know what? Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm Elon Musk.
So Elon does not have anything to do with Solar City.
Oh, he
might be different. Well, he's got his own.
It might not be
solar. How he like the? You remember those big batteries that they were advertising forever? He made those like battery packs that you could put behind your house that were like giant, but then you would attach them to a solar array on your roof. And so basically, if your power went out, you could power your house for like a month or something. It's supposed to be like a backup generator for your house, only without the generator part. From what I understand, I don't remember what it was called though.
Okay, I guess it's Tesla that's making the solar panels.
Oh yeah, maybe it is just Tesla, but Tesla for home or something.
Does Elon Musk see? This is a simple search. Does Elon Musk make solar panels? And the answer is yes. With its purchase of the solar company Solar City, which was founded by cousins of Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Okay.
All right, glad we answered that question.
Yeah. So it's owned by a Musk.
But I think it'll be interesting to watch what happens with that, just because I think that he's shaking it up, and I think there will be fallout, like obviously Melissa Milano. It's going to be a publicity stunt about it. But, I mean, he did make SpaceX, and he did make Tesla, and seems to be doing, and the Boring Company. They all seem to be doing pretty well, except for maybe the Boring Company. I haven't really heard much about them lately.
Yeah, I mean, he's so busy already,
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe that's just not a priority. Yeah. It wasn't a great idea, great proof of concept, but he's like, I don't know if we need to dump money into that yet, because SpaceX is obviously garnering NASA contracts. When NASA comes to you and say, hey, can you fly this shit to the International Space Station? I think you go, yeah, we got you. And then you just ride that out. Speaking of which, I wanted to segue to... I watched the new movie by I always get him confused. Nope. The movie name is Nope.
Oh, Peel.
Peel, yeah. Have you seen it?
No, but I've been spending so much time over at my girlfriend's house. I want to get it over my house because I want to rent that movie.
It's worth it.
And see, cool. I've heard from people that it sucks, and I've heard from people it's dope.
So I thought it was cool. Looking at the reviews on Google, audience review rating 2.8. Okay, whatever. Apparently people don't. Okay, I don't know, Kurt. If you had to rate the movie Nope, what would you give it out of 5 stars? Don't give. I think I'd do a 4.
4. Yeah, I'm leaning on 4.
It's on 2.8 on Google, and I think it got 82 on Rotten Tomatoes and 77 on Metacritic. But anyway, that wasn't. It's obviously a movie about extraterrestrial shit, right?
Jordan Peele's really into the like thrillers, sci-fi genre.
It was cool. I thought it was cool. But I was reading that NASA, their Artemis, the Artemis space shuttle that they were sending to the moon, it just randomly lost contact with the control center for 49 minutes, and I don't know why.
Nope.
Weird, huh? What do you think? And then I was like, you know what? It was the aliens totally taking it to see how far advanced we are, right? It has to be.
So was that maybe because it was behind, like it was on the dark side of the moon, or like in a? No,
it was still on the way.
Like when I go into my bathroom in my apartment, I temporarily lose cell phone signal.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. The lander just went to take a piss real quick. No, it happened to be watching the movie around the same time that I read that, and I was like, huh, it is funny. Like, as much as I hate conspiracy theories, but I know that that's got to be going around that, like, yeah, the reason that it lost contact is because the aliens are just checking it out. You know, they want to see what we're capable of. But I don't know. You'd think a ship like that would have cameras all the time, just sending back shit. So they just all go dark at once.
It wasn't able to send that whole 49 minutes. The cameras went
they got
dark
a bunch of logs for it, and they're going through it. From the last I heard, let me read a little bit of it.
I bet I can find a good, nice, credible video on TikTok.
Yeah, I bet you can. So they reconfigured something in the control center that got them contact back, but they got a bunch of data. They don't know why. It just lost. Let's see. Let me see where in the. There's a video, but I'm not playing the video. It's not clear why. Oh fuck! It's making me disable my ad blocker. That's okay. It's not clear why, but at 1:09 a.m. Eastern time.
On what day?
Wednesday, whatever. I can't get to the date of this article, but I think it was last Wednesday, maybe the Wednesday before. It just dropped off for 47 minutes. In the hour since, however, communication has been restored and seems to be back to normal. Navigation and control with Orion routed through NASA's Near Space Network and Deep Space Network. They utilize a bunch of commercial available equipment to do their communication with it. Just all stopped working.
I wonder who made the Artemis. Is that like Boeing or?
I don't know. I think it was. I thought it was NASA or just.
Well,
obviously
NASA
they've got to do a collaboration.
Yeah,
with
they don't
it,
make rockets. I thought for a long time they usually had that stuff made by Boeing, and then now SpaceX.
Yeah, I don't know. Forbes won't let me do anything without disabling my ad.
God, what's up with all these news sites behind paywalls now? They'll give you like.
It's not a paywall, but they have an ad blocker, so they want advertising money and to track what I do so that they can show me ads and get money from that. But you're Forbes, motherfucker. You got plenty of money. You don't need my ad money.
Yeah, I have a hard time reading New York Times articles sometimes because if I look at it too much, then
yeah, it gives you like 3 articles free, and it's like sign up for New York Times.
I don't want to subscribe to New York Times. Fuck, you guys pissed me off enough already.
I'm sure there are some things out there you can bypass all that with, but I just haven't looked hard enough.
No, I'm not that smart. I'm drinking too much of the salt flats.
That doesn't make you dumb. Just gives you good ideas. That might be dumb.
Yeah. Like pulling me behind someone's Jeep with an extension cord and an office chair.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd like to do that after the show.
Okay.
I don't have a Jeep, though.
Yeah, we could pull out your 4Runner.
I know a couple people that have Jeeps. We can call them.
Sure.
Take the doors off. Make everybody really excited about that.
25 degrees outside. Yeah, dude. It's such a weird world that we live in, just with information. You know, I miss doing the crossword puzzles. And you can't get I think you can get the Salt Lake Tribune newspaper, but I don't think they put the crossword puzzles in there anymore. Yeah,
I don't know.
And if you want to read Salt Lake Tribune, now they're behind a paywall.
You could probably get a crossword puzzle app on your phone.
Yeah, but they're so easy. They're so easy. It's
Make
like
it ultra hard.
bat. I don't know, but then I don't like to do the hard ones either. You know, I want something that's going to take me 30 minutes. I don't want to stare at my phone.
You just gave me an app idea that I think I'm going to make.
I don't want to stare at my phone for 30 minutes doing
a game. You know
how
Candy Crush works, right? Like you start level 1,
yeah,
super easy, then they slowly introduce these new mechanics that get you hooked on it.
I don't want to.
We need a crossword puzzle game like that where the better you are at the crosswords, it tries to rank you up through these different puzzle levels, and then when they're too hard, it kind of dials them down to find your right zone.
If I'm playing a game on my phone,
and if you fail 3 times, you got to pay me for a booster. It's $4.99.
Fuck no, dude. If I'm paying for a game, or if I'm playing a game on my phone for longer than 30 minutes, I just delete it.
Oh, it's too bad that doesn't work with TikTok.
That had touche, sir.
Sorry.
But no, those are entertaining videos. But I do the same thing. Yeah. I have been finding myself less and less on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And
it gets a little old, you know.
I feel bad. My friends and family like, hey, did you see baby Artemis?
Yeah.
No. Like, oh, I found out friends had kids like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, shit, I had no idea. Why didn't you say anything? I did on Facebook.
Yeah, but God damn it.
We were
that's the
talking about this the
direction
other day with some friends. When do you think Facebook is ever so? The young kids are saying that
Facebook is dying.
no, Facebook is for old people.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's the logical progression.
I mean, I'm not old.
MySpace became for old people. It got replaced by Facebook.
And that's exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, remember, I was talking about this with some of the guys that I work with, and they're like, dude, I missed the coding, and you could like totally customize your page, and
because you actually had to learn shit.
And then when Facebook came around, it's like, oh fuck Facebook, it's really boring. And now then MySpace is still around, but Tom is
Is it still around?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, but Tom is sailed off into the sunset.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's in. I
Do
actually
you think in his contract when he left, they still make him your friend?
He made like. I don't think he made $1 billion.
Oh, it is around, but it's more it's more
from
gone
music.
towards the music space. Yeah, that makes sense.
But even then, like, who goes to MySpace to listen to music?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I've never met somebody who's like, "Yo, can you share me your MySpace playlist?"
Dude, even if you're some schmuck that like raps in his grandma's basement,
you're still on. You're using SoundCloud for sure.
In your uncle's garage, yeah, you're on SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. It's. Yeah,
but I think that's. I mean, every company is like that, right? Facebook had its time; it got super popular, and now a lot of the young kids are like, "Oh, all of my my parents and everybody are on Facebook." So naturally, as a kid, you're gonna want to rebel and post things to your friends that your parents can't see. So you move to a platform like TikTok that your parents don't understand.
Do you ever wonder about like with social media? Because we have like Ches. He doesn't. Our friend Ches, to the listener, Ches, he's was our fact checker. And he's not on social media.
Yeah, he hasn't been on it for a while.
And it probably for some people, including myself, it probably causes a lot of stress. It
does, yeah. And I'm on it, but I don't post ever.
It's an unnecessary thing to have in your life, and
Sure.
you don't want to have. And it was for the last 2 years. Social media has been very stressful, but I also get a lot of business from my social media, and one could call something like LinkedIn a social media.
Oh yeah, 100%. LinkedIn is social media.
Yeah, and
it just happens to be about resumes.
Exactly. Yeah. Or the Chive, or Instagram. It's basically Instagram's just pictures. I love pictures.
Yeah,
I can just look at pictures all day long.
Anything that you have an account for that feeds you information that learns what you like and what you don't like can be considered a form of social media, I would say.
Yeah, it's so stressful though, and it's so addictive.
Yeah.
I
got on TikTok because I made a point when we rebranded to the weekly InSalt. I was like, we need to be on TikTok. We haven't done much with it, so go follow us or whatever. We're working on a plan for that. But
we're working on our next choreographed little dance jig.
Yeah, it's gonna go super viral. But I got on there just to understand the platform and feel around and shit like that. It does get addicting. Like, I found myself just next video, because it's that perfect amount of time that they figured out that it's going to grab your attention, then it's over with, and you just go on to the next thing.
I wonder, honestly, because there's some videos that I just swipe right through, and I'm like, oh, this is, for some reason, TikTok thinks that I'm religious, but I'm really anti-religious. But now, as I'm anti-religious, it starts showing all these, like, Mormons that have left the church videos. I'm like, oh, here we go.
So now it's like trying to pitch you against Mormonism.
But every once in a while, like a religious video will fall in, like the whatever river, the Euphrates, that's going through Iraq and Iran is starting to recede, and they say that in the Bible that the angels from heaven that are buried under the Euphrates River, now that it's drying up, they're going to emerge, and we're going to have the second coming and all that shit. Fuck you, quick swipe. But I honestly wonder if TikTok is looking with your front camera and following your eye movements.
It's possible. I doubt it.
I don't know.
But it also has enough information based on, what did you sign into your TikTok account with? Your email? Or did you sign in with Google?
I don't know. It was on my phone when I bought it.
So when you open it up, it probably just signed in with Google.
Yeah.
So now it's got all of your browsing history from anything you look up on the internet. And so it already has a pretty good idea of what you're into. Because they're all connected. That's why, like, a lot of the bloatware that comes on your phone, people are like, oh, that's cool, it's already got TikTok. But that's because Google made an agreement with TikTok or the cell company to well, yeah, we'll put TikTok on there, and then when they sign up, we already know what they like. We don't have to ask them that many questions.
Can you explain why and this is a serious question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain why TikTok knows why I like handicapped people so much?
It's probably because you follow them on a lot of other platforms.
And by handicapped people, I mean, I'm not trying to be like make a joke on that or anything. I have people with Tourette's come on I have a lot of Down syndrome. I have a lot of autism. I have a lot of
maybe they just
special needs.
think you're handicapped.
Well, no, I really enjoy. I think some of these videos and these channels are very tender. Like you guys can make fun of TikTok all you want. I follow a lot of several. There's a girl that has autism that travels to Paris, and she's on top of the Eiffel Tower, and she's on there clapping, and she gives her boyfriend a smooch, and he's also,
I'm pretty sure that TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them have back-end APIs that all communicate together. So
Instagram is all just like bikinis and fucking...
Yeah, and I'm sure you get your fair share of that on TikTok.
A little bit.
Yeah, see?
A little bit.
But also they're going to be more biased on their platform, so things that you like or that you tap the heart on or whatever. I don't know if TikTok has the heart or what.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so the things
I'm very
that you
selective
like,
with the heart.
They're all tagged, and then those videos are also analyzed by their AI that says, oh, well, we've got a whole profile on CD, like Ready Player One.
Is this the beginning of the end of the world of
yeah,
like with cyber Terminator 2? What's the Skynet? Yeah. They're just collecting information on everybody.
No, it really is
for world takeover.
Not for world takeover. They just honestly, the reason they're collecting your information is because they want to advertise something to you that you will buy.
Okay,
That's it.
I get that.
That's
but
it.
TikTok advertises to me for the most pointless, worthless shit that I never want to buy.
Right.
Never want to buy.
Right. And there are other reasons why that algorithm doesn't work, because whenever I sign up for anything, it's like, allow us to share your data to advertise to you. And I always say no, because I'm like, fuck you. I'll be in charge of my own shit.
TikTok has figured out that I have a girlfriend, so now it's starting to send gift ideas like, oh, buy your girlfriend this robe or whatever.
Probably regret.
But a lot of the time
Facebook
it's
official.
just complete bullshit.
Well, sure, and they're throwing that shit in there just because it's like TV, right?
Instagram,
nobody's buying the
Facebook.
fucking slap chop, but you still get an advertisement for it.
Slap chop. I've been wanting to buy a slap chop forever.
Really? I have one. I'll give it to you.
Really? I fucking love slap, dude. That looks so... Oh, man.
It looks so satisfying, but then you realize it's made by Fisher Price.
What?
It's
What do
a
you mean?
piece of shit.
Why is it a piece of shit?
Everything that's sold on TV is a piece of shit. Like the world's sharpest knife or the copper pans that never fucking dent or scratch. That's fucking bullshit.
Hey, I have a copper pan.
Yeah, how scratched is it?
It's pretty black on the inside. I don't know if it's
Nothing
scratched,
sticks to it, and they have the eggs that like fly into fucking Mars when you slide them out of the pan. It doesn't work that way.
That is true.
We should get a selection. I wish we had a bigger budget for this show. We should get a selection of ads seen on TV things and review them.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah, it would also be. It's so infuriating when we realize we spent $1,500 on a bunch of fucking bullshit.
I know,
Kurt
right?
could start with the GLH, Ron Popeil GLH.
You almost got me to Shamu. Set it and forget it.
To the listener, that's great looking hair. You have great looking hair.
You know what? I always make this joke with Kurt, and every time I feel bad, and Kurt, just so you know, it is a joke, but every time Kurt gets a little uptight, I'm like, why don't you let your hair down a little? Sorry, man.
Well, hey, we appreciate you guys for tuning in this week. And again, hope you all had a good holiday. And ringing in December. We got one more day left until December.
Yeah, and bear with us. Obviously, no guests this week, but we're working. We're working that all the time.
It's been difficult, and to the listener,
holiday season is always difficult.
Yeah, we had someone booked today, and he had emergency stomach surgery, and I'm not getting into that too much, but yeah, it's just stuff comes up, and we've been busy too. So
yeah, we were traveling, and it's obviously Tuesday. So,
but we always want to create the best content, and so I guess we're gonna have to start investing in more made from seen on TV products to review.
We need to hire a ghostwriter, man. Somebody just writes our content for us, and we don't have to come up with it anymore.
Every time I hear ghostwriter, I think of Riders on the Storm.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the old PBS ghostwriter show.
Well, yeah, that too.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was actually
about a real ghostwriter. I'm just thinking like a writer, like a Some Yellowstone shit.
Okay, I feel
Like
that.
a skeleton on a fucking horse.
Yeah, I hope you guys are all enjoying Yellowstone because, man, I've been trying to get in my Hulu account to figure out how to watch it, and it's been a pain in the ass.
You got to get Paramount Plus, bro.
Not doing it. There is no TV show that will make me get another monthly fucking charge. Although I did just buy a Costco membership. So
it's one Fireball. It costs one Fireball.
Yeah, that's one less for me.
$4.99.
Too
a
much.
month.
Too much.
You won't even.
So now you're paying $70. You're paying. Well, I'm not gonna say what you pay for cable, but you're paying a lot for cable, and then on top of that, you're paying $4.99 for Paramount, extra money for HBO Plus or Max or whatever the fuck it is.
No, that's
one
included
for
in
Disney
my...
Plus.
Nope.
You got Hulu going on.
Oh, that's
you got Netflix running.
Nope.
Amazon Prime. Before you know it, you're just spending $400 a month on shit.
The only thing Netflix is all in my cable bill. Paramount I pay for extra. HBO's in my cable bill. And then Amazon, yeah. So I'm basically paying for cable and Amazon.
Okay, so they just rolled it into your cable price.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I can guarantee the listeners, we will never charge you for this show.
Yeah.
Other than, sorry for your ears. When we didn't have a limiter.
What does that sign say at the top of your stairs?
Oh, your time on Earth is a lie.
Yeah. That was going to be the weekly insult. You're insulted.
Should we just move our mics around until they think the show's over? Ugh. Are your legs sore from walking that much in fucking San Francisco? We walked 10 miles?
Yeah,
Doing all those squats.
Dude, we did have to avoid one of those crazy Jesus people. He was yelling at a guy in front of us. He's like, "You want Jesus?" He's like, "No, I already found Jesus." He's like, "Your mind's eye is wrong." Fucking holding his, swinging his Bible at him. Crazy.